Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Sharice and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy.
Hey, everybody. We are live. Happy Tuesday, Sharice.
Happy Tuesday, friend. How are you? How was your week?
I'm doing good. I love fall. Fall is my time of year. So I love it. I love the weather. I love that it's starting to get cold. Like, it's so amazing. And I love these topics that we're having. They're feeling very on point, you know.
They are.
And so making your presence known, hosting events that build your brand is our topic for today. And so you just hosted an event, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah.
And so I'm excited to talk about what all of that entailed. How would you advise somebody to move forward doing that in the future? Like all the things. So, all right, but first tell us how you doing. Like, what doing exciting things are going on in your life?
I am doing great. Lots and lots of revelation, lots and lots of clarity. And I just wanted to say this, Natalie.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all got to do this work. Keep the thread and stay connected to your work, because it's just got to keep unfolding and keep getting more and more clear. I don't care how frustrating. I don't care how much you think you messed up, how much you think things are going bad. The answers are in that journey. Period. And it's just full alignment, coming with you staying connected to what you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
Who you know you are and what you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
So, and that brings us back to this conversation today. And full circle, doing events is going to be a huge brand builder for you, a huge connector for you, and that's how I'm doing. I've been doing events. So if it hasn't been one that I'm involved in, it's one that I'm hosting for someone else, or one that people have had in my space.
Yeah.
So that is, and I realize the importance. I'm so thankful. This topic is in such alignment and confirmation for me, because I'm going to piggyback and use this title for a class.
Ooh.
And Natalie, we're gonna have. I see now, because I'm gonna have to express the importance, because what was happening is I wasn't saying those words. When it comes to building your brand, having you build your brand, I just wasn't using that particular language. I know how important it is, but that language just pulled it together.
Yeah.
And events can be, small. It doesn't have to be something huge. Yeah. So,
and I think about so many people, like churches that started out somebody's living room, somebody's basement, somebody's garage. Kitchens, restaurants that started at, like, I was just watching something on the news the other day where they started a restaurant out of their apartment. And so much so that when they actually got a location, they called the restaurant La Apartment, the late apartment. That's the name of the restaurant, because it had just started out of the apartment. And so start where you are with what you have. And when I'm usually coaching my people on hosting events, we talk about the power of having one person in the room and working through your information with that one person.
Yeah.
So that you can have that good conversation regarding whatever you're presenting. Yeah. And then from the one person, you get to two people. From two people, you'll get four people. From four people, you'll get 8 people. From 8 people, you get 16. From 16, now you're at 32. Now you're having a wonderful conversation, but because you started with the 1 and you started with the 2 and you started with the 4, now you've worked all the kinks out of it. Now you know how to present your information in a way that they don't have any questions at the end. because you worked all those questions into your presentation, into your information. And so, it is okay to start with 1. It is okay to start with 0 because even, and I say this, okay, and I want to work this quote in because I heard this quote last night by John Maxwell. And the quote is, fail early, fail often, but always fall forward. And if you have an event and nobody shows up, that's a fall forward. All right. So you learned. What'd you learn? You learned my marketing wasn't in place. You learned maybe I need an RSVP list. You learned that if people RSVP, that is a maybe, not a solid yes. Maybe you need to put in one more reminder to actually get them to the event. Maybe they had the wrong location and went somewhere else. And so for a while, when we were doing premarital counseling at my practice, people would Google the practice name, but wind up at somebody else's practice because the names were similar. And so then so all of this is good information. So now I have to put in, use this address. Don't use another address. If you want to get here on time, use this address. And so all of that comes from the experience of doing. And so and so all of that would be you falling forward. And so it's okay to have an event that nobody shows up, which is why I don't want you spending a lot of money on that first event. It is embarrassing. I'm gonna read a note from Q because she's on the call. She's our producer, our podcast producer, who puts everything out on social media. So Q, always we're so thankful for you. And so it's so embarrassing though when physical events don't get enough attendance. How to overcome that fear of embarrassment. First, I want you to know embarrassment is the feeling you feel. It's not the feeling that other people feel for you. It's not. It's not. And so just kind of know that. And then second, if you, I think, lower your expectations for yourself and let this be an experiment. I'm just going to try. We're just going to try this and we're going to see what happens. This is a way for me to get good data. This is a way for me to know how to do an event. This is a way that I'm still learning. I think that'll keep you from being embarrassed as well. When a baby is walking around the house learning how to walk, the baby's not embarrassed that they fall down and nobody's feeling embarrassed that they fall down. And so if you can have that same compassion for yourself, this is the first of many events. It's okay if people don't show up because it's going to teach me and I'm going to learn each time. Do I need to make my name bigger? Do I need to offer incentives? Like, what do I need to do? And so keep yourself in a learning mode. What do I need to do? What do I need to learn? How do I do this better next time? And make sure, and this is a thing for me that I still haven't got to yet, y'all, I promise you, because Thanksgiving is coming. And every year I'm like, I've got to write a things to do list. Or like a standard checklist for myself. Like I know that. So I can make sure that I have everything that I need to have. Do I have the tablecloths? Do I have all the silverware? Do I need to have all of the things? And each time it feels like I'm scrambling around at the last minute. And so learn from my mistakes, please. Once you do an event, as you're doing the event, make a massive to-do list or a checklist for yourself. And so the next event, you just run through the checklist. And you add whatever needs to be added, whatever needs to be taken off. Then, advanced level, y'all ready? Then you put a timeline with that checklist. Okay, now I know I need to do this 5 weeks out. I need to do this 4 weeks out. I need to do this 3 weeks out. I need to do this 2 weeks out. And so you are learning how to do it. You are learning how to do these events. And so if every event is a learning process, you're good to go. And then, y'all, I got to tell you, people who had their physical events perfectly, the pandemic happened. So they had to change everything up. And so we haven't started talking about tips yet. But one of the tips is you're going to have to be flexible. You're going to have to be flexible. And so just bend and don't break. Okay.
Yes.
All
okay.
Right.
And I would love to come with a different perspective of that. And I love that perspective. Natalie. I'm going to
have different perspectives.
Because I'm just in such a highly accountable space right now because I've been doing this for so long. You know what I mean? And I'm just held to another standard of accountability now. And it's so on point because last night I was listening to Alex Hermosi's wife.
Yeah.
And their success on this last launch that they had, which was like 140 million or something like that. Like,
wow. What were they launching now? What are they launching?
I don't know if it was a book or I don't know what it was. Program book, something like that. But either way, girl, when I say that she was talking with one of the operation managers, Juanita, this is a good topic for you too, boo. Yep, that checklist is everything. But let's go beyond the checklist, right? So let's talk about everyone has to own an assignment. Let's talk about delegation, that you can't do it yourself. You're too big to do it by yourself, right?
Yeah.
Even the Thanksgiving dinner, Natalie, right? So, and I was going to ask you, like, who is assisting you with Thanksgiving dinner, even though it's at home and it's chill and it's with family? Who's assisting you with it, and who's going to own some of those pieces of it so that you're not overwhelmed again and in the same position, right? Because we tend in our heads and minds, as creatives, we tend to, of course you have it organized in your mind. And of course you have the checklist. But once again, of course, you're still not exactly where you want to be. You might be a little further down the road and a bit more organized, but it's going to be one piece that was so important that was missed, right? So they were talking about how everyone has to own, and I mean own and fall in love with that piece that they have to bring to the table, right? So your delegation has to get strong. And if you have delegated for the team, they have to own that space. They have to wake up owning it, checking in with their own checklist, with just their own ownership of it. That hit me really, and that was just yesterday evening that I was listening to that. But it really honed in on some conversations that I have been having lately about my events, that I've been having and watching other people and how they execute theirs, and some do's and don'ts, some things I'm able to bring to the table, some things that they brought to the table that I'm like, that's a good idea. I like the way you did that, but my main thing is that delegation. Like, you can have a great list and get it out your head and even write it down, but who's the team that's going to help you bring it together? And I really want us to commit to that excellence, because no longer in the space where we can afford to be just bringing it together. Even if it's last minute, a lot of people are having quite a few pop-ups, but people who have mastered pop-up events are people who have mastered a certain space, and they're able to say, hey, we're going to pop up this Friday over at such and such, like one of my girlfriends, Carla, with Vanity Kiss Boutique. She has mastered her travel system with her clothes. She's a boutique owner. So she could pop up anywhere, anytime with her clothes because she's mastered the system, right? And go make money any day, anytime, anywhere. So I'm going to pop up over at Sharice Feast today from 3 to 5. Come meet me over there, but is that something that you can do? So not for you, Natalie, pop-ups aren't for you because the business that you're in is too strategic and in-depth. So your events have to be planned and registered for and things like that, you know. And one other thing I want to say, so I can be quiet real quick, because we didn't even go into this part. You just asked me how I was doing, remember? I just went into the top.
Jumped in.
Yes. So the other thing is getting enough consistent events on your calendar. Events of your own, and then collaborations. If events are a brand building strategy for you, you need to be having those events on your calendar. How many collaborations are you going to do, and how many events are you going to actually host? How many events are you going to speak at if this is a brand building strategy for you?
All right. So how many events do we need to speak at? How many events do we need to have? That, to me, that's like the natural next question.
Yeah. So that would be based on your personality and, comfort level, and how many people are you looking to bring into your community, into your client list? How many can you handle? Right.
Right.
I had a client who spoke at the Invest Fest and got an influx of clients, and they are overwhelmed right now in a good way. Because they're able to go. And what happened was, a perfect example was, they didn't have their back end together. They had a sign up list, but did not have a funnel. Right. So now that you did good job on having the sign up list, so now you have the emails and information, but what is the follow up? Right. And I have to admit, that is where I've been very weak in my business over the years, because I've just been spoiled.
For like 2 years now.
Huh?
I said, you've been working on your back end stuff for like 2 years now.
Yeah, I've been working on my back end stuff since I've been in business. But 30 years, how about that? So here's the thing. It just starts to evolve, because I I signed up for
let me say this real quick. What it looked like from the outside and what you be feeling on the inside is so different. So it's just so different.
It is, but shoot. Girl. So I will say, when I was in the salon, it's crazy. We crazy. So in the salon, follow-up was perfect. It was fine, because once I got online, when I was doing it, regular way, appointments in the book, people just had their regular every 2 weeks, every week appointments. That's just how we did, even from the book. Okay, 2 weeks, boom, boom, boom. System.
Yeah.
Right. Then we moved online, and that was even sweeter, because it would literally book them. We would book them online before they left, and then all the reminders happen. Mm-hmm. Right. I love transitioning from, the book to online. So yes, I did have a system, and it was great. My system has been crazy since I came out of the salon time, because I've been pulling together a membership system, which is what I have been working on the past 2 years. And, I've been getting my butt kicked for real. Because I didn't have it together, just full transparency. Yeah. Because I decided to go into, a high level CRM. And so something that I've never done, and I'm super excited, a little embarrassed, cute. We do have embarrassing moments in our lives, but I am embarrassed to say that, well, I'm excited to say, but a little embarrassed, that I'm finally going to take the entire fourth quarter, and prepare this back end, right? Because I have the team together now. I have everyone designated to do what they're supposed to do. And I have we're about to launch my one pager that's going to tell you about the launch in December/January for the membership, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pre-launching for my founding members, right? So I'm going to start that in October. So I'm going to get my founding members in there, because I want them to watch me build out the membership site, right? Yes. Because most of my clients need it. And I want you to see what it looks like, and I want you to see how to take the path of least resistance for yourself. Yeah. Because we got in there and got overwhelmed, right? As people who didn't know what we were doing. And then you need to go back and get the professionals to help you and train you on what to do in these massive systems.
All right.
So, yeah.
So in all of that, I want to hone in on two things. First, I want to hone in on the embarrassment feeling, because I just want to talk about that more. Okay. Because that's real. Like, I don't want to be embarrassed. I'm scared. All right. But as you're talking, What are you embarrassed about? Because on the outside, it's like, oh yeah, you finally got that together. I'm so happy for you. And so I have no negative feeling towards you at all regarding that. So what are you embarrassed about in that?
Well, it's just a word that I need to say out loud because those emotions are still there. I have been working, I have been diminishing those emotions with my internal work, but I have to say it so that I can be transparent so people can relate to me.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm embarrassed because I should have had it done 10 years ago. But I have to say this because I'm not sure if you're familiar with Sherry Riley, but
no, not yet, but I'll write her.
She's in the entertainment industry. And I never forget, we were on a cruise together and she spoke. And she said, it took me 7 years to finish this book called Exponential Living.
Yeah.
She said, it took me 7 years, y'all. And I saw the emotion.
Right.
When she said it. Mm-hmm. And it just hit me like, oh gosh, somebody else took that long. It's taking long.
Yeah.
But it's part of the journey and it's okay. Like, first of all, you are elevating and expanding and ascending.
Yeah.
Right? It's still what it is. And you're learning the game and the journey. And then once clarity comes, things just start coming together. And let's be clear, Gen X, let's be clear. We got caught up in a whole new matrix. We went from one matrix to the next. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
When this digital world showed up, let's be clear. We were raised by baby boomers and what was the other generation? Mm-hmm. We got out and worked.
Yeah.
We elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder. We walked. We printed flyers. We told people about what we do. Mm-hmm. We had events and invited friends and family, and weren't embarrassed who showed up until the right people showed up.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then we, in the middle of all of that, as we're building and growing and learning, boom, we took this digital shift.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I need you to know that took a new brain, boo.
It did. One which, and because Abraham Hicks will joke that new kids are born into the digital age, like they're born into it, and we were not born into it. And so, keeping that in mind. But I wanted to go back to embarrassment one more time because I want you guys to hear. Sharice had self-judgment because I don't know what she's been trying to work on for the last 10 years. I just know Sharice and that she produces fabulous things. And when she shows up, magic happens. And so I want you guys to make sure those shoulda, woulda, couldas in your head. I need you to know that we don't know that. We don't know that it took that lady 7 years to do the book. We don't know that wasn't the plan.
Yeah.
The plan could have been 7 years. And so watch out that internal judgment that you're having of yourself, because I don't want it holding you back, because we on the outside don't know any of that. Yeah. Now, as you say membership, I do remember being in the shop and you having the membership plan on your wall. And so now that you're saying it's launching in January, oh, girl, I know you have been working on that. That's all I know. Yeah. And so I just want you guys to make sure you're doing your work, so you can stay out of your head and stay out of your emotions with the woulda, shoulda, couldas, because us on the outside, we don't know. We don't know. We just know you're showing up and you're doing a great thing. Yeah. That's it.
And that's the part. And those are the things that will hold you back. Those are the blockers. You over here embarrassed because you don't feel like you got it together, and people are looking at you like, oh, girl, you got it all together.
Right.
Which that's the thing too that have been an issue for me. People thinking I got it together when I don't.
Yeah.
I keep it real as possible. Like, hey, I do not have it all together. And I want you to know, feels like sometimes it might look like this. I need it to look like this. I'm image and style and brand. When I go up, oh, baby, it's going to look like it's going to look right. And everybody around me is.
Yeah.
And it almost doesn't matter what went on in the background as long as the people got the feel good and the transformation that they need, right?
Yeah.
But as the image and style and brand consultant, I have to be transparent.
Yeah.
About what it took sometimes.
And thank you so much for being transparent. Just thank you. Because I think this is a really good conversation that we're having today.
Yes.
Because this is what's required for people to show up, is to have done that internal work so they can show up. And I think we've all had an event where we had poor turnout. And you got to do it again. You got to do it again. You got to do it again. Like, practice makes perfect. That's how you get better. And learning about yourself. So inevitably, no matter when I do an event, after all of these years, there's still like one thing that I can never get done, or I won't done, or we didn't get in time enough. And so I've had to learn to tell myself, okay, people didn't know they was going to get that anyway. So like, just stop. I've had to learn how to say, oh, I'm so sorry that I don't have folders for you guys, as opposed to just give them the handouts. Yeah. Like all of those things you learn by doing. And so I just want to make sure you guys are in the doing. Like, you're actually doing things, because that's where you learn. There's something that breaks off you and changes when you do it and you have the experience. And so I want that. I think I want, a guy said, okay, so currently I'm listening to the book, The War of Art, The War of Art. And one of the things that he said yesterday is to make sure, he said yesterday as I listened to the audiobook in my car, like we had a conversation.
He did say yesterday.
He did. One of the things he said yesterday was make sure that you in your mind are separate from your business, so that you won't take things so personally. And so he was like, you can understand that a business has to grow over time, that a business is not going to be perfect, but it's constantly working on perfecting. Yeah. And so he was saying, like, if you can keep you separate from the business, it's easier for the business to have failures, because a business has ups and downs. It's just so much easier. And so I thought that was really, really good. Like, making, like, you are not the business. You are a person. Sometimes you work in your business. Sometimes you work on your business, but you are one component of your business. And so your business, and we all know businesses that have had product failures. We know in the movie industry, movies that have been flops and all of these things. And I think the other thing, continuing to understand, is that failure is part of the process. That failure is part of the process. That failure is how you learn. Failure is how you grow. Failure is how you get to success. Yeah. And even if you're the lucky person who didn't have any failures, once you got to success, I bet success knocked you on your ass.
Yeah. Oh, shit, man. Yeah.
There's so many little lessons you have to learn in there. Little lessons, taxes, routines, follow up, like all of these little things. And so you need your business to grow and to learn and to evolve slowly, so that you could get all of those lessons and everything in time.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Absolutely. So I would like to speak to, I'm not sure, I know you're familiar, Natalie, but if the audience is familiar with The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Shovell.
Girl, she just came back up for me the other day. Okay, keep going.
Woo! Let me tell you. So you have to kind of gamify life. And that's something that I have been able, only because of my personality. And I have taken a stance in life that, like, look, we gotta laugh and we gotta go. You have got to make sure you have fun figuring this thing out, because otherwise it's going to take you out. If you don't make this thing fun, it's going to take you out. So fun as in, these are lessons. Like, you call it lessons, you call it failures, whatever you want to call it. Boom, you get your butt back up again. Yeah. And you keep going. And that for me, like, I think Gen X is actually having fun right now. Because you talk about overs, and I'm gonna tell you who is giving us a lot of life. The entertainers are giving us life. The music artists who are able to get up and come back out and do concerts. The actors who are able to come back to the screen again and get in some of these new films. And like, that is life, y'all, because they are us. And they have had the struggles and the failures. It was just public, right? So the fact that they get to get back on stage and do that thing again, and some of them are just so perfecting it. Like, I'm gonna give you one of my favorite groups is 1, New Edition, 2, SWV. Girl, you talk about a concert.
Yes.
2, get to go to a concert and get that feel good of that era of music again. I went to a concert. It was Next. Next Case.
Wow.
And SWV. You talk about, it was just such a feel good moment. And when I tell you, they all did such an amazing job. So they got back up and got out and doing their thing again.
Yeah.
And we can too. So keep up what you're doing. Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Do not stop. If you do, things happen in life. Things happen. If you stop, just don't forget who you are and what you said you were going to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
I think yeah. And y'all, I get it. Like, as we're saying, accept that failure is part of the process. Like, I get it, because no failure feels good. But I want you to, what he said in the book yesterday was, after you have a failure and you get back up and you keep it and you keep going again, that's when you're a real professional. He was like, that's when you've arrived. That's when you know, like, okay, I'm in this thing for real now, you know? And he was saying something to the effect of, like, don't even trust nobody until they had a couple of failures. Because you don't know how they gonna react.
How they can handle life.
Right. Under pressure.
And this is real.
This is real.
I have been there, done that with somebody who couldn't handle life.
How about that?
Things happen. Money flow changes. You know, life shifts and changes. You got to be grounded and know who you truly are.
Yes.
And that's one thing I know. We as a culture, we know how to create something out of nothing. If you don't have that skill, you're not us.
Right. Okay. So, like, okay. That's true.
I know so many things.
Okay. So many things to say. All right. Before we get off today, I want people to have some practical steps. Okay, so if somebody was going to host an event in a month, first of all, how far out in advance should they host an event? What do you think?
Based off your community and what you do and what kind of, fan base you have and following that you have, you should know, and the results that you want, right? Monetarily, what are your results? Is this just brand building or is this a money-making event, right?
Gotcha.
So I think you can do it in 30 days based off certain goals. I think you can do it in 2 weeks based off certain goals.
Okay.
But typically 60 days is good for planning and marketing and all that. And let me just stop there. Let me stop there because I can go on and on. Do your research and who your fan base is, how much money you want to make, how many people you want in seats, and what is the goal? Is this visibility or is this money?
Yes.
Because you can have an event and all your friends and family show up and it looks very successful, but you spend all your money and didn't make no money. Okay? But if you are looking to get just certain people, you might want one person in front of you. You might curate an event and invite one person and they show up and change your whole entire life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so events are to be curated too. So I'm going to stop there. I hope that answers your question.
That does answer the question. So give us, if it's an event for visibility, what should we be doing?
Okay, so if your event is for visibility, your marketing should be very strategic. Okay. For instance, if your event is about style, okay, and you want to be in front of more women who could become your clients, right? You need to speak to the audience that you want to show up. So women who want to rebrand, women who want makeovers, women who want glow ups, women who want to look better, feel better based off now transition in life, right? So if it's visibility for that audience, your marketing should be speaking directly to
that
those women. And not vague.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do a lot of really vague marketing, right? And then, you know, you have to hit those in the marketing, you have to hit the pain points. No, girl, do you not know have you forgotten how to dress your body, this new body that you have through this menopause? Let me tell you. I understand. I've been there, done that. Let me tell you what I had to do in order to dress this new body. You know, you're going through hair issues, having menopause, your hair is thinning, you have a new texture. Let me tell you how to handle that. I need you to show up, you know, like don't be afraid to hit the pain points and get in their face when it comes to visibility. You know, what's the visibility points for your maritalpreneurs that you hit, the pain points that you hit for visibility?
Arguing over the business. The business isn't growing. The business is hurting the relationship. The business is actually driving us apart as opposed to bringing us together because we don't work well together. We have two different working styles. And so those are the things
that people aren't saying. You're just arguing and fussing and mad, but no one's saying out loud what the real true core issues are. So that's those are the pain points that you have to hit in your marketing.
Yeah, for that visibility. That's so good. That's so good. Okay. So once people decide whether this is a visibility event or a money-making event, then and I think you said about 60 days out. And it's really you said it. So 60 days out is we're going to give you guys as a rule of thumb for hosting an event, 60 days out. What I really want you to think about is your client base. Because I was talking to one of my friends and she was like, I'm getting ready to do an event and I'm having it in, I think she was like in 2 weeks. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Who was your ideal client? Because I think who you're talking about, like me, most things, I can't do anything that's 2 weeks because my calendar is already booked up for the next 2 weeks with clients and events and stuff like that. And so I was like, if you're going for somebody like me, you're going to have to give me a minimum of a month notice if you want me to show up. And it's still, if it's on a weekday where I'm supposed to be taking clients, that still might be iffy because I have some people who are automatically like every 2 weeks on the schedule to the end of the year. And so we might have to work that out. And so really, I want to reiterate what Therese just said. Like I'm literally repeating what she just said of knowing your client and knowing how far out you need to plan an event to get it on their calendar. Because some people, it don't work like that. Now, some people, they free every Saturday morning. And so you can say, boom, we're going to do something this Saturday morning, and it happens. So really knowing your client, which may mean interviewing your client, your ideal client. So hopefully you already have some people in your circle that fit your ideal client profile or avatar profile or whatever word y'all using these days. And so you can ask them, what would this work for you? You can figure out what are their pain points. You can run some of those marketing lines by them, which is what I'm kind of focusing on this week. Actually, it's already Tuesday, so we'll see if it happens. All right. So if it's a money-making event, what's 2 or 3 things you want them to remember, Sharice, about a money-making event?
Okay, so if it's a money-making event, that's a couple of different angles. One is if you want to make money because you need to make money, you still have to do the event with a genuine heart. You still have to help people, and you still have to, serve people. You have to bring a transformation to the table, right? But you have to be really strict about the ticket price.
Yeah.
And who you want to show up, right? So don't get crazy with the ticket price because you're desperate to make money. You have to think about the audience, okay? And who you want to show up, what you're going to give them. And then the ticket price, make the ticket price right.
Yeah.
To get the door.
Yeah.
And you have to have a strategic plan in place to upsell them into the next.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to the moneymaker, I would advise, if you haven't already been doing events, I wouldn't advise you to be trying to make all the money with the ticket sales.
Gotcha.
Right? That's the thing. And a lot of entrepreneurs and people who are trying to do events, they think they're going to make everything off the ticket sales. No, that's getting them in the door so that you can give them the transformation so that they will buy into what you've offered them.
That's true. All right. Sense? I also want to say this is where I have fumbled the ball multiple times, is not controlling my expenses, not controlling the expenses. And so, and it comes from a heart of like, but I want to make sure they get this, and I want the swag bag to be everything, and wanting, and then at the end of the day, or I tried something new with marketing that got me one time, and it ate up all my profit. And I was, okay. So I had a wonderful event. People still rave about the event. I didn't make any money from the event. Like it was a break even, very much a break even. And it may have cost me if I go back and do the math. All right. And so if it's a money-making event, you got to control expenses. And so I'm speaking to me and all people who are like me, because it's that love for the client that makes you want to, but I want them to have this, and I want them to have this, and I want them to have this. And so figure out how to do it, but you got to watch that bottom line. You don't want to make a profit and then you ate it up with foolishness or craziness or just good-heartedness. And so you got to watch those expenses. And time and time again. And so I have somebody in my life, and so I want everybody to get somebody in their life who will say, you ain't got to do all that. Stop. You ain't got to do all that. Stop. You ain't got to do all that. Stop. You ain't got to do all of that. And so I love that about her. And so shout out Treva, I love you, but she's the person who's right. She's the person who stays in my ear of like, stop, you ain't got to do all of that. You ain't got to do all of that. You ain't got to do all of that. I was at this event and they serve granola bars.
Yeah. You and their information is what they really truly want. One thing I'll say too, for the masterclass that we did on the 6th, one of the survey people said they didn't see a swag bag. We didn't do a swag bag. We didn't need to do a swag bag. Right. You don't have to do what everybody else does.
You don't.
We did such a transformational event. You didn't need a swag bag. Right. You had everything you needed in the room and you walked away transformed. So don't be tripping off no swag bag.
Yeah.
Now, if you have something that you can give away that you can make, let me say my pet peeve. Don't be giving me no weak swag bag just to be having one. I can't stand a weak, empty swag bag just to look good. Don't do that. Just give me a notebook. Give me a notebook with a pen.
Yeah.
That's fine. But swag bag that's weak, that has nothing to do with the event, the brand, or me walking away with it. I'm going to put it in the trash. You just wasted money.
Yeah.
And time on the bag, and you might have got some giveaways, but don't be cheap with people. You know?
Yeah.
So be careful about that. Be careful. Curate your own experience. And it does not have to be a swag bag. You the swag. Them walking away with the information that you just imparted into them is the swag.
Yes. Okay. So last question.
Okay.
Pivoting a little bit, but I can hear people saying it. My spirit is saying it. Okay, but how do I feel my event? What do I need to do to get people to my event?
you need to market yourself. First of all, the people want you. So you have got to put together a plan and get out there and fully market. Do things that you've never done. So showing up on social media consistently like you never have before, getting in those text messages and getting in those emails and calling and texting and emailing people that you never had before. When you are out and about telling people about your event.
Yeah.
With passion, with conviction. People will support you off that. And I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm going to give you a really good secret that a lot of people don't use. You need to make anyone that is involved in your event, especially if you have a speaker or two, you need to require them to bring 10 people.
Okay.
Period. They need to sell 5 tickets and have maybe 5 comp. That's tricky based off what you have, what your goals are. But if it's a bigger event, a speaker need to have no less than 5 people in the room.
Okay.
Right? A speaker or someone who's on a panel, someone who's vending, you don't get to just come show up and just vend. You shouldn't want to.
Yeah.
You don't get to show up and just be on the panel. You shouldn't want to. You should be inviting your community too. Like, when we did the event at the restaurant with Patricia that you came by, I told my people, like, look, we're going to support a lady. She invited me to speak. She is building her community. I need y'all to show up and show her how we. Okay, so when I ask my community to show up, I need support, and I need a gang of y'all.
Yeah.
So we showing up like a gang.
Yeah.
So you let me know it's showing up.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Well, I hope that helps, but that is one of the better secrets.
And I gotta say, part of me, just in you saying that, was just like, I'm gonna ask them to bring people, and so it like what are they gonna think of me if I don't have enough people on my list to like make sure that it's filled out? And then I think part of me was like, oh, I need to see them as a joint venture partner. This is a joint venture, and so multiple things with that. So notice your own resistance when people are saying stuff or telling you to do something. Notice your own resistance.
Yeah.
And then I want you working faster and faster and faster in your head to say what you got to say to yourself to work past that resistance.
Yeah.
So, because that resistance, it'll show up. And so if anybody is struggling, I do want to recommend that book, The War of Art. Because it just talks about all of these little things and all these little ways that we set ourselves up. And so, yes, that's it. All right. In here, in our brain, the battlefield of the mind, to quote Joyce Meyer, the battlefield of the mind. Huge. And that's where everything is. All right. Closing thoughts, Sharice.
So closing thoughts is you should book your event. You should put your event on the calendar. And start planning it. Okay. If you've been talking about doing an event, listen, start planning your event. Yeah. You need an event space, holla at your girl. Yeah. I got you. And, I have a team that can help you push it through. So, and that's another thing, Natalie, like just stop trying to do the events by yourself.
All by yourself.
You got a team. You got a team in me. So whatever you need when it comes to the planning, the coordination, the decor, the sales, everything, and stop being concerned about the cost, because we can work all that out. Yeah, all that can be worked out. You're dealing with veteran entrepreneurs who know all the cuts, who already have the you need. So. Stop thinking that you can't do this. You just have to get with the right community and team.
Yeah. All right. So then my closing thought is going to be get mentorship. My closing thought is going to get mentorship. And it can be formal mentorship or it can be informal mentorship. Like it could just be calling me and Sharice and saying, okay, support me as I do this.
Yeah.
And then, and we're here to support. And so, so I'm going to echo Sharice and don't do it alone and get mentorship.
Yeah.
Fabulous people. We love spending these Tuesday mornings with you guys.
Yes, we do.
And so I hope they're a help to you. And Sharice, your people at Facebook got fixed, right? So your people
they did. They over there happy.
All right. We apologize for the technical difficulties and y'all missing us last week. And happy fall. Make sure you invite Sharice and I both to your event. And I'm going to make sure I invite you guys to mine. So, all right. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.
Audio Jungle.